Guys, good morning. This is, God, I gotta get a haircut, a beard shave. This is a question I've gotten a few times now on email, and it's understanding what happened with the reverse split and then the settlement payouts of your shares, how that works. It sucks that it was completely confusing. Some people got it and they'll say, oh, it wasn't confusing at all. And some people didn't get it. I mean, I've gotten emails and I don't blame you. I remember making videos about it, being all confused, exactly how that looks, what's going to happen, how it's going to play out. So I'm going to go ahead and use an email that I got from one of the viewers that sent me kind of an example of stocks and what they had and what they understood. And they're wanting to try to figure out why they got what they got. So I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to use this real quick. So if you didn't know exactly how the process went, hopefully this will help you. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just what I saw and what I learned and what I received. So hold on a second. So I'll read this email off to you. Hello, buddy. Hope you're okay. I need to ask a question on the reverse split. I had 503 AMC and 315 APE. Am I right in saying this is how it should have gone down? Reverse split the AMC to 50.3 and then reverse the 31.5 APE. Add those together. That gives me 82.2 AMC shares. Then I would get 7.5 to 1 from there. Or is it just and shares only? Because I thought I should get 10.96, but they only gave me 6.77 shares. So I'll be able to answer this for you. Basically, how I understand it and how it worked out is simply put, you had two. You had AMC and APE, correct? It's the AMC shares, the only ones that got paid a settlement on. That's why we had the lawsuit that came out about the APE shares, because it wasn't fair to the APE shares. They didn't get those settlement shares, only the AMC did. And what does that mean? Well, you've got to take your AMC shares post-split. So once they reverse down to 52.3, whatever it was on there in that example, you're going to get 1 share for every 7.5. Or to make it even simpler, for every 15 shares, you're going to get 1 share, or you'll get 2 shares. So for every 15 shares, you would have got 2 shares, only on the AMC after they split. It really wasn't that great. The payout wasn't that great. Even me having as many shares as I did, I got 53 total AMC shares, I think it was, or 57 out of it all, because it was only based on the AMC shares post-reverse split. Now, that really screwed the APE people. Whoever had their APE shares, that you didn't get any benefit, plus you got the reverse arbitrage, and if you're holding AMC too, so the only thing I can see positive from the APE side is that you got a cheaper version of the AMC shares when the APE was able to convert into it. But it has nothing to do with getting the settlement whatsoever. And here's the other downside. Remember all these fractionals. Everybody, I imagine, had fractional shares. And I think that, in my opinion, that was another trick. And the reason I say that is because your fractional shares would have been paid back to you. They don't give you the fractional shares. So they will pay you back in a form of cash. And number 2 on that, if you're like me on E-Trade, they slammed you with fees. So I got slammed with a total of $35 in fees because you had the APE and the AMC that reorganized. So 38 bucks, 38 bucks. So, and that, no, that doesn't add up to 70, it's like 76. Then any fractional shares you had, they turn around and give you cash back. So I'm still negative 70 something bucks in both my E-Trade accounts because of the reorganization of both. So that's 4 times I got nailed with fees just for Adam doing this. On top of that, they took any of my fractional shares that could have added up. Now you take 3.8 million retail shareholders, if that's how many there were. Take all the fractional shares they had and think about this. What about the ones that only owned 9 shares in their Cash App accounts? And then those things reversed. They didn't even get a full share. They just got money paid out at the cheapest possible price available when it converted at the current market price, which we saw was an all-time low. We're really close to it. So think about that. Think about how this screwed over a lot of shareholders out there. It didn't help so far. But hopefully that helps you guys understand how the reverse worked and the what I call Stormy Daniels hush money and give them immunity. You see why I'm upset? You see why I know the majority of my viewers are upset? Because it was a good old spanking by you know who. And I don't care what anybody says. And I'm going to make this a point too. I told you guys I'm looking at trying to be as positive as I can towards the stock and what the company itself can succeed at, not Adam. That will not change. You will not change me when you drop your comments. I could care less about that man. I know exactly who and what he was and how he used this community and pretending like he's a silverback when really he's just a silverback stabber. And we all know that. He did what was best for him, his hedge fund buddies, and everybody else, not for what was best for us. I don't care what anybody says. We are here. We've been holding this bag. We've been saving this damn company, and this is the kind of love and treatment we get.
This is obviously a very sensitive movement for a lot of people. And I think it's...
Robert, it's 1 in the morning and you don't know what you're talking about. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. Across the board. There are no synthetic shares.
I have a hard time believing that based on...
Yes, I obviously know that. But if there were synthetic shares, if there were billions of shares out there, then when we issued a free ape that was worth $7 or $8 to every single shareholder of AMC, why would nobody say, where's mine? Nobody, not one, zero.
Why would it take so long for you to notice that there's manipulation going on with ape, as it's supposed to be 1-for-1 equal value, and see it, you know, AMC at $9, and then ape going down to $1?
What makes you think it took a long time? We knew
it only took a matter of months to see it drop.
Months. I knew in weeks that it was not functioning correctly.
And yet you still chose not to contact regulators regarding the, I guess, suspicious nature of the drop?
It's not that it was a suspicious nature. It's how the market...
How is that not suspicious?
It's how the market decided to set the price. Market set price. Supply and demand sets price.
It's supposed to be 1-for-1.
Yes, and that's why within 120 days of starting it, we went public with a move to put them back together because something was really screwy. And among other things, index funds were only buying the common. They weren't buying the preferred. Your brethren thought that there was a short squeeze that could occur with the common. So they kept with the common. Because we could add supply to the preferred, they didn't think a short squeeze was going to occur with the preferred. So your brethren were not buying apes or holding apes.